welcome back to Jason Sports Clips. It is Jason, the creator of this YouTube channel, obviously. If you are brand new to this video, if you're brand new to seeing me, if you're brand new to seeing anything about Jason Sports Clips and you love NFL content, you should definitely subscribe. I am not joking because I'll be posting probably about 4 times a week. I'll be posting weekly predictions. I'll be posting the top 10 power rankings. I'll be posting reactions, all of that little fun stuff about the NFL. So if you're brand new and seeing me for the very first time, you should definitely hit that subscribe button. Like this video. Always comment what your reactions about the video is. If you think my top 10 teams are trash, if you think my top picks are completely doo-doo, any like that, please freaking leave a freaking comment. I would love it. I swear I'll love it. I need reactions. I need engagement. I really do. But anyways, today we're going to be the week 2 top 10 teams, also known as the power rankings on the NFL. I just want to say that these are my opinions. I am not an NFL expert. If your team is not in the top 10 and you got a W last week, don't get mad. It's all good. Just relax. You might be in the top 10 later in the future, okay? Oh, and also, if you have not followed my Instagram, the link will be down in the description as well. I haven't been posting lately, but you know, once I get in the groove of YouTube, I'll be definitely posting a lot more. So anyways, let's get right into the video. Oh, and just to be clear real quick, since I don't want to make this video too long for you guys to watch, I am going to be going through the teams briefly, just talking about who they won against, how the couple of players were. I'm going to throw up some stats that you guys can see. But I want to name a couple of honorable mention teams that did not make the top 10. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are one, so they lost against the Saints. Tom Brady did not look good. The offense looked a little shaky. But, I mean, it is week 1. It's a brand new system for him, so he definitely will be top 10 here in my list later on in the year. The number 2 team, the New England Patriots, they won against the Dolphins. It was a good little showing. It was 21-11, I believe. Excuse me. But Cam Newton looked good. The offense looked a little but they're not in that top 10. And the last honorable mention team will be the Tennessee Titans. They did win against the Denver Broncos by a field goal. I don't really know their stats, but I know it was a close game. It was shaky on both sides, so they're my number, I think, 11 team, I would put them. But to start off at the video, the number 10 team will be the Los Angeles Rams. Now, they did get really lucky with the the offensive pass interference against them. That definitely did help them win that game. But looking at the stats, I see Jared Goff, he didn't do so hot. He threw an interception, 275 yards. Completion percentage is actually not that bad. Their running game was okay. Looking at the stats here, 18 for 79 from Malcolm Brown. Receivers, Robert Woods did pretty good. And let's see at their defensive stats. I'm not seeing anything that's shocking. They have a few sacks. They had like 3 sacks total. So that's not bad. Against the Dallas Cowboys team, it was completely red hot. Well, not red hot, but they definitely are coming in red hot. Like, they want to win the Super Bowl. This is their year. So, very good win team for that team. And let's get on to the number 9. With the number 9 team in my power rankings for week 2 will be the Buffalo Bills. So they did play against a weak Jets team. But, I mean, a good win is a good win no matter who you're playing. Looking at the stats, Josh Allen did pretty good. I mean, he threw 312 yards, 2 touchdowns. Actually, their running game was pretty weak, so it was nothing but passing. Stephon Diggs did good in his debut. I mean, then again, you know, Jets lost Jamal Adams. They got, like, nobody on that defense anymore. And now Le'Veon Bell's out for the Jets, so it made that defense a little bit easier, or their offense a little bit easier against the Bills. Looking at their stats, they do have an interception. That was Matt Milano. I don't even know who that is. But, I mean, other than that, the defense did good. Got a few other sacks, and now we're on to the number 8 team. This might shock a lot of you, but my number 8 team will be the Arizona Cardinals. That win against the 49ers is really, really good. You know, the 49ers are a very good team. Looking at the stats of the Cardinals, Kyler Murray did mediocre. His completion percentage was a little bit low. 230 yards, a touchdown, interception. Kyler Murray was their leading rusher, though, with 91 yards. Kenyon Drake had an alright day. DeAndre Hopkins definitely balled out. 151 yards. And that defense of the 49ers is good. It is not the Jaguars team. They're definitely top 2, you could say. Looking at the Arizona Cardinals defense, they had 3 sacks just like the other 2 teams that I've already talked about. But very good win for the Cardinals. Absolutely crazy. Number 8. Moving on to the number 7 team, I got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the number 7. So I was actually really impressed with Big Ben. Being out almost all year last year, he did pretty good. 229 yards, 3 touchdowns. Now, Benny Snell, the player I've never heard of before, I might be just weird, but he completely balled out. 113 yards and 19 attempts. Very, very good. But James Conner is injured, so that's a little bit no bueno news. Looking at the wide receivers, Juju Smith had an alright night with 2 touchdowns, though. Let's see on the defensive side. They got a couple interceptions by TJ Watt and Cameron Hayward. That's definitely unique. They got plenty of sacks. And that Steelers team did really good against the Giants. A very hungry Giants. They're not just playing around this year. They're going for it all. And now on to number 6 team. The number 6 team in my power rankings for week 2 is definitely the Seattle Seahawks. Boy, Russell Wilson balled out. 4 touchdowns, 322 yards, and 31 for 35. God dang, that is good. But their rushing was a stinker. Very, very bad, as you can see on the screen. They did play a Falcons team, which they could be 500 this year. They're a good team, but they're also a bad team, so who knows what's up with them. Look at the defensive stats real quick. They do have an interception by Condre Diggs. Sacks, Jamal Adams got a sack, and he actually did pretty good in his debut. So they got a couple of sacks, so not a bad win for the Seahawks at all. Especially when I ranked them number 3 in their division earlier in the week. So now I'm feeling pretty bad about that. Now on to number 5 team. The number 5 team in my rankings is definitely my Green Bay Packers. Let's go. Now, they definitely had a very good game against the Vikings. Even though their defense is not the same, Aaron Rodgers balled out. 32 for 44, 364 yards, 4 touchdowns. And the Packers running game, Aaron Jones did good, and that's about it. I mean, this is a very, very good win for this Packers teams against the Minnesota Vikings, who a lot of people think the Vikings are better than the Packers, which, the Packers are only 3-0 in their last 3 games against them, so whatever. Devontae had a really good game. Marquez Valdes-Scantling dropped a couple balls, but his stats are still pretty good. The Packers defense, the Packers do have an interception. That was Jair Alexander. We have a few sacks by Zadarius Smith and Jair Alexander. So, I mean, the defense was a little shaky towards the end, but very good win against a quote-unquote good Vikings team. Now on to the number 4 team. My number 4 team is the San Francisco 49ers. So, they didn't really look that good against the Cardinals. But, I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo had not that bad of numbers. He had 259 yards, 2 touchdowns. The running game was definitely a little bit slow. Their leading receiver was their running back. So, their wide receivers were not showing up at all. And their defense, they had an interception. They had a couple of sacks. But I don't know. They definitely did not seem good at all. Like, not like they're a bad team at all, but like, they definitely was rusty. They were definitely rusty. They're gonna regroup. They're not gonna worry about this game. It sucks that they lost, but if I was a 49ers fan, I would not be tripping out at all. It's just the rust. But they are still number 4 team. Moving on to the number 3 team of the power rankings, I got the New Orleans Saints at number 3. So they beat a Bucs team that is coming in all big and bad, acting like they're the best team in the world, and they completely shut them out. That defense of the Saints looked very good against Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. But Drew Brees, his yards were definitely a little bit low. Their running game, Alvin Kamara definitely struggled. So, like, it was mainly their defense that definitely won them the game. Let's look at their Defense, they got 2 interceptions, 1 for a pick 6. Their defense, they got 1, 2, 3 sacks. But I don't know, they made Tom Brady look pretty shaky and definitely rusty. So that was a very good win for the New Orleans Saints. If I'm a Saints fan, then damn, man, I'm feeling like I'm on the top of the world. But now on to the number 2 team. The number 2 team in the National Football League, in my opinion, is definitely the Baltimore Ravens. They completely wiped out the Browns like they were a high school team, 38-6. Lamar Jackson looked like an MVP again, throwing up 275 yards, 3 touchdowns. They're rushing, obviously Lamar Jackson, their leading rusher, with 45 yards. That Ravens offense just looks unstoppable. They really do. And the Browns defense is actually not that bad. They got a good D-line. You know, Marquise Brown had 101 yards. Other than that, you know, man, this Ravens team, if they just stop choking in the playoffs, they're a Super Bowl team. That's it. They're so good in the regular season. They do have an interception. They have 2 sacks just like every other team. But now, on to the number 1 team, which I'm pretty sure you already know who it is. The Kansas City Chiefs are definitely my number 1 team. Man, Patrick Mahomes, when he first came to the league, I was like, he's going to be like an average quarterback. I was definitely completely wrong. Even though he had 211 yards against the Texans, he had 3 touchdowns, and he looked pretty good. Like, he was making accurate throws all night. But their main point of that offense on Thursday night was definitely Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I think that's how you say his name. 138 yards, 25 attempts, and a touchdown. Pretty good. Their wide receiver, Sammy Watkins, was their leading wide receiver, which that's actually really surprising. I'm surprised not Tyreek Hill or Travis Kelce. But that Chiefs team looked pretty dominant against the Texans. You know, it was over pretty quick in the first or second quarter. Texans have no shot against them. Let's look at their defense real quick. They have a few sacks. Actually, yeah, 3 sacks. That actually looked like a lot more. But yeah, this Chiefs team is definitely number 1 for a little bit. If you like this video, please leave a like on it. Please leave a comment if you completely disagree with me, or if you think I am the brilliant man I am. And other than that, Jason Blackburn signing.